All right, I'm gonna give my testimony. Um, just kind of start off with is I didn't have any religion at all other than, well, my family grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic. I got confirmed and did all that stuff being a Catholic um, when I was a kid. And once I was like 16 or 17, I told my parents or told my grandma, I'm not going. I says I'm not going to church anymore. It says I didn't believe in it, and yeah, that was not good. But for some reason, when I was about 18 years old, I was compelled to read I just had this feeling I had to read Revelation. So I read it, and I think it had something to do with the History Channel. And and after that, I never even touched the Bible. I guess I may have, I didn't even talk to pastors, really. I didn't even really talk to the priest, even when I was in Catholic at all. I don't even think I even really talked to him at all. The only thing I did was, I started looking at, from that point, I just stopped going. I mean, I never went to any church or anything from like 16 or 17 years old or whatever. Once I got confirmed, I'm like, what's the point? Well, anyways, so then I went to, let's see here. From that point, I went to, until about a year, it was a little over a year ago, maybe 2 years ago now. I actually got fired from one of my jobs, and then that's when things kind of changed. And I got fired from the one. I went and got hired at another job, and then I quit that one for a better job. And when I did that, I worked for that job doing the same thing I did with the first one, and I worked there for 4 or 5 months, and then I got fired there. And at that point, I also was dealing with CPS, Child Protective Services. They were in the process of trying to take our kid, or I don't know, doing all this crazy investigation crap, kind of like same crap like the president. And in the end, we still got our child. It wasn't like we didn't lose her at all. And they tried to give me like 6 months of jail. Didn't give me, well, in the initial thing, they just come and get you and they throw you right in jail right away. That's what they did for me. I served like 3 or 4 days of jail time, and then from there I went to from there I got out and post bail and stuff and got out of jail. And then but yeah, that was horrible thing. So I had a life event at that point, a couple life events. And when everything got done, that's when things kind of, like, for me, it wasn't during, it was like afterwards. And I prayed to the Lord. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I had no idea what I was doing. And I just pretty much sat there and I just, I just looked up. I said, Lord, what in the world is what's going on? I don't get this. I go, I thought I had everything figured out. I'm like, have a good job, everything's fine. You don't have to worry about anything, You got a good job, everything should be fine. Yeah, well, lo and behold, yeah, it didn't work out like that. What happened was, it was just like, they like, kind of like what they say, the lurking class. It was just like, everyone just kind of gangs up on you. And this one guy, I remember I come into work, this guy is like he just flat out, I never did anything to the guy, like nothing. I might have said some bad things about him. Yeah, I'd said some bad things about him. But he just came. I came into work, and he's like, "I'm gonna get you fired." just flat out. It was like, I'm gonna get you fired. You're out of here. He's like, you're gonna get. He says, I'm done with you, and he did. He got me fired. He got me out of there. That's for sure. And but it was just amazing how they just like swarm on you. It's like, wow. And it's you versus everybody. And you're like, you know, you could do anything, you can do everything 100% right. You know, I mean, I could go on stories of all the good things I've done and stuff, but that didn't mean anything to them. You know, they're just like, get rid of the guy. So, well, anyways, at that point, you know, I prayed, you know, like, what the heck's going on? You know, I didn't have a job or nothing at the time. And at the, you know, with the last one, I didn't have a job. So I just kind of prayed to the Lord and I asked for help. And he comes right, you know, and it was just like, he led me. It was just like a complete lead where he sent me, like, I had no idea. And all of a sudden I'm looking at my phone one day in the morning, and my phone showing on Facebook about a Monster energy drink where it was looking at Va Va Va, which is, because none of the M's are connected, which is in Hebrew Va Va Va, which is 666, and it's on the freaking can itself. So, you know, from a Monster energy can, I'm sitting there going like, so that's actually, you know, satanic symbol, you know, like this is a can. Like, what else is out there that's like this, which we know now is every freaking thing. But I had no idea at the time. I had no idea. So I'm like gonna go on the internet and I'm gonna investigate this stuff and I'm gonna look. So I started looking, and the first guy, I found one guy which led me to the Jonathan Kleck on YouTube. And it was, once that happened, it was just amazing. I mean, the information that he has, I mean, as soon as I seen the Vatican, it was just like, no brainer. But it was just amazing to see, to go from that to this. And after that had happened, I wanted to look. So I'm looking for the Vatican. I'm like, you know what? I need to send Johnny a letter. You know, I have a question. You know, I had multiple questions, honestly, and just a whole pile of them. And I'm like, I'll just make it short, sweet, simple. So I wrote a small letter real quick. And as I'm doing that, I'm like, okay, well, what in the world is his address? Well, he said the address on one of the videos that I was watching. And so if you know, like right when you click the cursor and you go like this and you can slide it on your YouTube, you know. Well, I just clicked on it and I slid it over, and bloop, pops Romans 10:9. And I'm like, what a coincidence. And all of a sudden I sat there and I just put my hands in the air and I prayed. And I said, Lord, you know, I confess with my mouth, you know, Jesus, yeah. And I mean, as soon as I did that, yep, I mean, that was exactly it. I mean, I confessed. And the next day, that's where things just kind of got really, you know, the next day is when, like, I could feel it was like an uplifting, I'll explain it. It's like an uplifting feeling. To me, it was an uplifting feeling, like whoosh kind of feel. I don't really know. There isn't really words to really describe it. They say a buzzing feeling. I guess you could kind of say a buzzing feeling. I guess it's the best way to explain it. Like they say, like, put your hand in an electric socket. I guess that's what in the world you could say. I put my hand in, you know, I felt 110. That does not feel good. This felt good. Electric socket doesn't feel good. But anyways, I was just blown away, because once I did that, You know, and I sent the letter, and Johnny did get back to me, and we talked. He asked me questions like, "Are you married?" and stuff, and I said no. I says I got a kid, you know, and I got another one on the way. And he's just like, "Well, you need to get married, man." He's like, "You're living in sin, and you know, this is the whole point, is getting away from the sin, and then realizing that the Bible is real." And oh yeah, and that's when I was talking to Johnny. But another thing too is like like when I got saved and I felt that feeling hit me. I can't remember if it was that day or that night or the next day, but it was within like a day to maybe 2 or 3. This feeling came upon me where I had to confess my sins. And what's really crazy about this was that I didn't even know about some of the sins that I even did. Like, so I was like, and you know, I can't even put words to even describe that, because it was like, this came into my, you know, into my head. Like, you need to confess this. Like, it was just like, you need to confess this. I'm like, really? I don't remember that. I don't even recall that. So I had to use my words very well on how to really confess this, because I'm like, if I really did do this, you know, I'm sorry, but I don't really remember me doing that. But somehow I had to confess this stuff, and it was just coming out of me like crazy. And, you know, once I got done, it felt good. You know, I felt better, and I was like, man, this feels better. Well, then all of a sudden I started to get, you know, after that I started to get led. And I'll have to do this in my next video. I'm going to be doing multiple videos on this. I can't do just one. I'm going to have to do multiples, because I got multiple testimonies I should share about this. So this will be number 1, and then I'll do another one after this. I'll do a number 2, and I don't know how many videos I'll do, but we'll see. So I'm just going to start with this one right here. So that's how I got saved. The confessing was just, that kind of blew my mind. And but anyways, just that, this is number 1.